Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's well. We'll kick off with the live section, then go into a 10:30 tonight. Ready to the back? Ready to the back. We kick off with Gary from Spurs.
Thanks, hello.
Hi, Gary. Hello.
Gabriel Jesus described it on Sunday as a big worry. You know more now. What's the latest?
Yeah, we know more now, and it's not looking good at all. But we need to review one more specialist, so probably we'll have the total information this afternoon.
Because obviously the player itself and these people will know probably more than you do, or at least as much as you do, about what it is. And the reports emerging from within the camp that it might be an ACL problem. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, I don't want to confirm anything again till we have the final report this afternoon, and I think it's the doctor's job to do that. But yeah, we were very worried straight away after the game, and we are very worried today.
So I don't want to be a pessimist, but there's a chance it could be a season-ending injury.
Well, again, let's wait till this afternoon.
Any other players who've been injured who might be available for you tomorrow?
We have one more training session, and there are a few that can be close, but again, this afternoon we'll have the full info on the squad and who is available and who is not.
One of the ones who was nearest to being like Calafiori, is he one of the ones who might be available?
Yeah, his thing is not too much, but again, we need another day or two. You play every 3 days, and 24 hours become really important because they are not long-term injuries on that case, for example. So we'll have more understanding this afternoon.
Jorginho looks to be going off with a discomfort, is he?
He was cramping, honestly. We played extra time. Jurrian was exactly the same, so we had a few players struggling to finish the game.
But he's fine?
He's fine, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, with this injury to Jesus, potentially quite serious, does that change your thinking about the transfer window? I think you're asked about bringing in an out-and-out striker more often than Tyson Fury announces he's going to retire from boxing, but can I ask you again?
Yeah. But my answer doesn't change. My answer remains the same. We are actively looking in the market to improve the squad. And that's been since day one. We will be naive not to do that because it's an opportunity always to evolve the team, to improve the squad, and especially with the circumstances that we have. So yes, we are looking and we are trying, and let's see what we are able to do.
Because you said that, I think you said after the game it might have been, not what you meant, but you said it wasn't in your hands. What did you mean by that?
Well, you have to recruit a player. There are three parties, and you have to agree to that. And we have our limitations as well, like any other club. So we can do what we can do, and we plan our squad, and we have our limits to do what we want to do, and that's it. So the fact that I love a lot our players doesn't mean that we cannot think about improving. I'm not that stubborn, and we all want the same. That we use every opportunity to improve the squad daily, and when the market comes in, we can do that to make sure that we have the best resources and the best capacities to compete in the manner that we want.
Let's talk on the pitch, because it's a big game, the North London derby.
Yeah.
In London derbies in 2024, I think you played 11, unbeaten in all of them. Keep that record going with a win, hopefully.
Yeah, probably the nicest game of the season to watch and to play, certainly, because of the atmosphere, because what it means to our people, what it means to us. Everybody is involved in the game, so this is something that is in our hands. For example, it's and let's create the best atmosphere that we have played at the Emirates. That's an objective. That's something that we control. Players, staff, and all the supporters that turn up tomorrow. So this is something that we can do. So let's do it.
Something you can't control, and I hesitate to mention it because we don't want to give these idiots the oxygen of publicity, but there's been some beyond the pale social media activity towards one of your players since Sunday. How sad is it that this happens in football, that it should be a sport that we all enjoy?
It's incredible, honestly. And we really have to do something about it, because accepting that and hiding this, I think has terrible consequences. And it's something that we really have to eradicate from the game, because it's so cynical as well, and it's so dependent to a result of an action, and there is no any other story like this. When we play Ipswich, it was 27? 27 of December at home. We win 1-0. Kai Havertz scores a goal, and the whole stadium after that is singing the Waka Waka. That's 20 days ago. guys? What is the perspective? So we are all responsible, and all means you guys are responsible, everybody is responsible for the narrative, everybody is responsible for how we talk, and we cannot look somewhere else. That's a really serious matter, guys. And it affects him, and it affects me, it affects everybody that is in the industry in the way. And we can accept, and we say that's our job, yes, but there are certain limits, and the line has to be drawn. And we put a lot of attention on that about technology and what is next in football. The next in football might be that this is prohibited. It cannot happen. That's it. That's what we should aim for.
Well said, Mikel. Thank you. Good.
We'll go to Niv from the Premier League.
Hello.
You've been the Arsenal manager for 5 years. The amount of injuries you're dealing with this season, missing key players, is it toughest to experience? And from your perspective, does it mean you try to be out there and be more creative with the style of play and try to find solutions?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's the most challenging period that we had, especially because we lost very, very important players in crucial moments. But I don't know, things happen for a reason in this life. We have to adapt with everything that happened. Still, look how the team performs. Okay, we didn't win the other day. But you have to go in a competition. Let's go out like this when you've been infinitely better than the opposition again. And on Wednesday we have another one. Probably the best timing to play because we know what it means, that game, for all of us. So let's face it, the circumstances are what they are. Let's embrace them and let's get the best out of that, because even with all that, look how the team plays.
I remember previously when I asked you about the Ange Postecoglou, you mentioned you have big respect for him, for the style of play, for his thinking, for his principle. I can imagine this respect is being bigger now because he's dealing with injuries as well. He's being very, still being resilient and trying to find solutions and trying to be competitive.
But that's our job, and it's very difficult to predict that those things are going to happen. But about how we react, again, this is something that is in our hands. You can feel sorry for yourself, start to find excuses, or face it. And I think Angie's done that, and last year I think they have some difficulties as well, and he dealt in the same way, so I really respect that.
And until last week, you haven't lost at home for 9 months. Now you experienced 2 defeats in less than a week. How important is for the Emirates to be a fortress again tomorrow with great atmosphere and great support?
Yeah, for sure. Understanding that that it was a long period, and it's something that gave us so much confidence, and obviously the fact that that we lost 2 games in the manner that we've done it is painful.
Hi, Mikel, how are you?
Good.
You mentioned 2 words interestingly earlier, narrative and perspective. I think the narrative this year was that this was your time to go and win the title, especially with Manchester City not playing well. But do you think your fans have got the right perspective around how difficult that is?
Well, I wasn't mentioning about the narrative of that. In the narrative from the beginning is that the top 4, 5, 6 teams, because of what we've done in the market and historically, have now the ambition to win it. But this is not changed, regardless of what happens, regardless of the injuries or whatever. This remains the same.
Because of the injuries, do you think now, and you said you only bring in players that will improve the squad, do you believe now that you have to bring in what would be considered an out-and-out striker through the middle, number 9?
Well, we have to believe that if we bring something, it's going to make us better. And there are
but in that position in particular?
No, but it's in any position, because we have other issues as well. So we need to understand that a player can bring a lot to the team in different ways. It's not just about one, because nobody can guarantee you nothing. There is no one player in that market can guarantee you come today and you do that. We're going to hope, and we're going to believe, and we're going to try to work on somebody that we believe that he can do that. But that's what we are trying to do.
And finally, a week can be a long time in football. You can have 2 bad results, but you win tomorrow, and suddenly everything is rosy in the garden again. Is that how you go into this game, thinking, right, we've had 2 setbacks in inverted commas, but if we win tomorrow, suddenly the crowd are right behind us again, suddenly I'm the best manager Arsenal ever had.
What's the word that you used? Roses in the garden. Yeah? Roses in the garden, you said.
Everything is roses in the garden.
Yeah, but there's no roses in the garden because I win 2 days ago in a way that I didn't merit, or because we won 2 games in a row, the next day is roses in the garden. This is about what is the next day in the garden. This is our job. And when we play every 3 days, especially that. What is in the garden the next day? That's the important thing. Yeah?
Okay, to Jonathan from the club.
Mikel, Los Angeles is obviously a city that we've got a strong connection with over the past few years, going through a devastating time with all the fires there at the moment. Do you have a word for all of our supporters based over there?
Yeah, well, our condolences. Obviously, they are suffering a lot when you look at what is happening and the time that all this has extended to and how many people are affected. We have obviously ownership there and a lot of friends and people that are big Arsenal supporters because we've been there now for a few years together. So really sad. Try to understand the situation and try to help as we can.
We'll go to Simon from the Standard.
Mikel, just on Kai, I mean, you talk a lot about the culture of this club and sort of the family feel of it. Just what's it been like in the past few days after he's had a week like that, and just how is he, first of all?
Well, it's not about individual. I mean, I think there is a big lesson here to learn from us is how we have conducted, reacted, and supported players when they have been through a difficult time. And you guys just notice sometimes when it's just a professional, issue, but there's a lot of personal issues as well going on in the camp. And the club and the people here have been exceptional because every time it's been an issue, everybody has supported him. And the outcome is always clear. The more support you have, the better it is. And with Kai in particular, we experienced what was the beginning, and when everybody started to support him, and they were talking about him, that'd be one of the best nights in Europe. And that's it. So the best medicine is that the people really loves the club and loves our players, support them. That's what I would like to say.
Just as well, obviously, you've got that clear weekend now because you're out the FA Cup. I know you've spoken before about the desire to try and have a break or get away with the squad. Is that something you're looking at now?
Yeah, we are looking now, okay, this is gone, so how can we optimize the situation using the best possible way? So we're looking at options. I think the calendar and the fixture is a bit depending on what happens with the Champions League as well. So we are looking and trying to plan the options.
Art Athletic.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on that kind of potential week for a break, last year was one of the big things, almost just having that time to go through things you wouldn't have the time to in a week like this, where you're playing Tottenham on Wednesday, then Aston Villa on the Sunday, and there's almost no time to think.
Yeah, well, we knew that when we are involved in all the competitions that the schedule was going to be like this. We are prepared for that, and we're going to face it. That's it.
And on the point about Kai, I know you mentioned support, but with perspective, that word you mentioned, how do you, I guess, as a manager, bring that perspective to a player when they're in a difficult time?
Well, in terms of the goals, it's very easy. You look at the last 10 years, any play in Europe, apart from Ronaldo and Messi, expected goals and finishing quality. There is not a single player there that has been stable. It's very volatile. Expected goals and goals is a very volatile thing. You want to have the ambition to be there and score a lot of goals, make sure that you are prepared to be volatile. If not, you go and be a defender. That's it. It's part of your job. Volatility in expected goals and goals is really, really high. There is a lot of smoke, a lot of things that you cannot control. So the only thing is better, increased probabilities, more expected goals, more situations, be more there. Then it's higher. The finishing quality, every single player, apart from those two, up and down.
Okay, last couple in the live section. Firstly, Tom from Football London.
Just a quick one on the transfer window. Of course, since Edu resigned a fair few months ago and Jason stepped into that role, has your role had to change at all after Edu kind of stepped away, or has that been filled completely by Jason?
No, Jason completely filled it by him, and obviously all the team that is behind it and the board that we are in constant communication. We continue to act in the same way, the same process that we had before, and Jason is in charge of that.
And just on the derby as well, Andrew's obviously received quite a lot of perspective on how stubborn his approach to games can be at times and sticking to what his beliefs are on things. When you're preparing for a team that has a very specific style of play, how does that change your approach to setting up for a team like that?
No, I mean, there are a few things. At the end, almost every team, in certain phases, some of them can insist more than others, but in general, every team has very clear intentions and patterns, and they can change the system, but the outcome that they are trying to achieve is very, very similar. So it's just sometimes the way we verbalize our feelings and how we go about our jobs more than anything else.
Finally to live, we'll go to Nick from Haters.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
With characters like Jack Wilshere and some of the Hale End boys, Emil Smith-Rowe are gone, who's in the camp now to sort of explain to the new players what the match against Tottenham means to the club?
Well, we have a few now in our squad with Ethan and Miles as well, and obviously all the players, a lot of the staff, you know, that you can feel it right when you get in the building that the big one is coming up, you know, and that excitement is around the building, so they can feel it and they know about it.
There's not much time, is there, the build-up from the last game to this game, but have you got anything sort of special planned motivationally before the game?
I'm not there yet, but yeah, it's better, especially when you've been knocked out of a competition, to play as quick as possible. I think that's positive.
Okay, that finishes the live section. We'll now go to 10:30 tonight. Kick off with John.